Yesterday, after I finished the work that I was going to do for the day, and I cut the computers off, and I watched a couple of movies, and these were love stories. And when the movie went off, when I finished watching the movies, I lit an incense, a lotus incense, and I sat on top of my bed, and I just started thinking. I just started reflecting on the times in my life where I have felt romantic love in my life. Times when I really felt loved romantically, and when I have given romantic love. And I started recounting in my head some of those experiences, and I started smiling, just thinking of some of my memories and the things that I've experienced in my life romantically. And it really took me into a space, just sitting there in the dark on the bed. All I could smell was the incense. My eyes were closed, and I was just back in my head and back in the day and back in some of my experiences. Really beautiful places in my heart that I've had romantically. And I was thinking about that, and this sense of gratitude just began to come over me. And I was very grateful. I just started saying thank you. Thank you. Thank you that I've experienced that in my life. Thank you that I've had a taste of love and romance and infatuation. Thank you for that. Just thank you that that has happened for me and opened up those places in my heart so that I know it when I see it and when I feel it, and I've lived in it and I've touched it and smelled it and felt it and all kinds of things. I was just begin to be grateful, and then my tears began to fall. And I was just sitting there, and I was just in such a place of joy that I've known moments in my life when my soul has opened up because someone loved me and because I loved someone else. Really grateful for that. Truly, truly grateful for all of those moments that I've had. And I began to just think about how good it is to be able to feel love and to give love and to have that in your life and to know that you have that in your life. And it was such a profound moment for me because at the end of all of that, when I was done, I was sitting on the bed, still dark, and I was just smiling, and thinking about some things. And I started writing. And at the end of my writing, I realized that the lesson for me, what that experience did for me, just like we talked about last week, many times I can see there was a time in my life, which may have even been last week, when I would have looked at those films and come out of those films after the end credits and said, oh, well, why not me? And so to watch those films and then to have that experience was a sign of spiritual maturity for me, because I began to revisit the places in my heart and in my journey where I have felt many of the things that I was watching on the screen. So to be able to process that in a way that left me feeling whole and complete and not lacking was a sign of growth for me. And I was just so grateful, had so much joy from being able to have that experience, all with myself. And then I began to continue to process through that, like what is love and what is that feeling, and when I want that in my life, what am I really wanting? Is it a person or is it a feeling? Sometimes it's both, but what am I really wanting? And what I came to on that bed last night was that people are great, and we should enjoy the people in our lives. That's a wonderful blessing to have. And you're blessed if you have love in the form of a person. That's a beautiful thing. It's a gift. The love stands even when the people are absent. Love is the essence. If you take some balsamic vinegar and you put it in a saucepan and you boil it all the way down, if you keep going, you will get to something that's so thick and so sweet, it's like chocolate. I don't know if you've ever done this. Try it. You can boil that balsamic vinegar all the way down till it will literally be thick and pour out of that saucepan like chocolate. It's sweet, it's delicious. That's like love. Like love is the essence of what we get through people sometimes. That essence is present even when the people are not there. This is what I was thinking about on the bed last night. night, and there was just so much joy and gratitude that I began to have from within to have experienced things in my life that have opened up my heart and fertilized my soul in such a way that is really beautiful. I don't often think about it like this. And so at the end of all of that, I came to this sentence that I want to share with you that I ended up tweeting this morning, and this is the reason why I'm sharing that with you. This is what I wrote. Spiritual maturity internally processes your experiences and emotions in such a way that leaves you lacking nothing in the present moment, so that you are perpetually whole and complete at all times, no matter what circumstances and challenges you are facing. And what I realized as I began to meditate was that my gratitude, really, when I boil it down like that balsamic vinegar, is that I have learned a major, and am learning, because you learn it over and over and over again, a major key, which we talk about a lot here, so I want to restate it again today. There's a way to process your life and your emotions that always leave you feeling whole and complete. And that really is one of the secret keys to a happy and joyous life, is to take your current state of being and all of your history and all the things that you've had and done and all the things that you're not and still hoping to be, and to internally process them in a way that leaves you whole and complete, lacking nothing. There's a way to process your life that always leaves you in peace and not pieces, as a Yana would say. So I'm very grateful for that. That was a beautiful thing that I experienced last night, because I, in days past, would have watched movies like that and been left sad.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been left sad. I would have been left thinking, why them and not me? Even though I know it's a Hollywood movie and it's all, put together. But there are a lot of people who experience that. I remember when I was doing Wedding Story on TLC. This is way back in the day. And I would come into my office. I think I've shared this before. I would come into my office and I would have all those tapes on my desk, and I would be, here I am, watching people's love stories. I remember this one story where a woman went to the gym. She had a black eye because a door had hit her in the eye. She had on no makeup and sweats and went to the gym to feel better about herself, and was on the weight bench and met the love of her life. I was like, well, damn. And so she was saying at her worst moment, she met the love of her life. And so I would sit and watch these stories every day, and I remember thinking, I would close my door and cry. I'm writing notes and crying, and then sometimes I would be left so sad after watching those. Happy for the people, but so sad because it was such a huge void in my life, and I would go home and drink and do drugs and all kinds of stuff to fill that void. And so 13, 14 years later, to be able to sit in that very beautiful space for someone else and see that same beauty in my life and feel whole and complete, that is spiritual growth.
Yeah,
that is spiritual growth. And I'm sharing that because there are people out there who are so sad because of the things that they don't have. I'm not saying you don't have sad moments. It's not what I'm saying. I have a lot of sad moments. But what I'm talking about is I've learned how to live with my sadness and not be sad all the time.
Right.
So I want you to hear that, really hear that. I've learned to live with my sadness and not be sad all the time. That's really important at this time of year for a lot of people. A lot of people. To not be sad all the time, to learn how to find a way to process your life internally in a way that leaves you whole and complete, nothing missing, nothing broken, no matter what it looks like. Yeah, it's all in how deeply you can open up your mind and your heart and your soul and receive what you just said. And a lot of people can't. They can't.
Right.
And it's understandable, because what we do as human beings, for example, I'll take my Nana, who died in 1982 of a stroke. And I love my Nana. I mean, the first time I ever cried on this show was talking about Nana and how she was sitting with me at the piano and said,
at the piano, I remember that.
Remember that? That's the first time I ever cried on this program, and I was talking about her. So what happens is we as human beings, we do this in religion too with Christ, but what we do is we personify this person. It was her perfume, and it was her clothing, and it was her hair, and it was her smile, and it was all those things. They're very real. She was a person in my life. And so that's really what the heart misses. It's the personage, it's the personification of the love. What I'm suggesting, and what Dante just said, is keep boiling it down. Because
energize the love.
Yes. Oh, did you say energize the love?
Yes, yes.
Ooh, that gave me a goosebump. That is it, Michelle. That is it. To spiritualize and energize that love, because if you keep boiling it down, once the love, and this is what I was trying to say earlier, once the love imprints your heart, it opens up your garden. That never changes.
Right.
It came through the person of my Nana. It comes to the person who's tickling your toes right now. But the love is an energy of it in and of itself.
In itself.
Yeah, I was going to go as far as to say this, that when I was thinking about those romantic moments in my life, whenever the earliest moment is that you felt that in your life, that is love introducing itself to your heart and to your soul. Yep. So you've met love. Now, what we do as human beings is we focus on the person that introduced us to it and how they made us feel, as opposed to what they made us feel. We focus on the who instead of the what.
That's good.
You hear me? So part of that joy was realizing that I've met love. I know love. It never goes anywhere. Some of the people along the way have come and gone, but love has always been there. It introduced itself to me at an early age, and it's up to me to keep loving love and keep cultivating love in my life, regardless of the people who bring it, show it, and help me to feel it on a deeper level. What people do, and this is a beautiful thing, is they take you because of experience and circumstances and challenges. They take you into deeper, more transformative layers of love. That's what you get in partnership, okay? Because that daily negotiation brings you into deeper, more transformative layers of it. It is still all love. So for many people, we can't forget that we know love. We keep thinking that it comes through somebody else. It doesn't come through somebody else. It reveals itself in our relationships with other people. That's true. It just depends on how you can open up your mind to receive what I'm saying. And at the end of that time on my bed last night, at the end of all of that joy and gratitude and tears and just thanksgiving, was that, Robert, continue to love yourself. Continue to treat yourself the same way that people have treated you when they loved you. Continue to love yourself in that same way. That's what you have to do. Continue to be all that you can be just for you. All that you can be. Break down every fear, push beyond every barrier, live in the maximum and the highest room. Open up every door in the mansion of your soul and go in there and just live in it, just because you can. And continue to do that for yourself. That is love. That is the eternal flame. Be the best man that you can possibly be in every area and aspect of your life. That's the love. That's the love. What I know is that people come in and out of your lives to minister various aspects of love to you and with you. And so they're holding that consciousness that I talked about of loving myself is a beautiful thing. And yet I also know that there are people who will come in and out of my life and who are in it right now, who we go into deeper level of experience and relationship with one another to minister certain aspects of love to one another. That's really all it is. With the consciousness to hold is to appreciate the people, but realize that the love is flowing through them. It's not them. It comes through them, and we got to love them and appreciate them. They are gifts. But really, really, no matter how much you've loved somebody, I have never seen somebody jump in the casket and go with the person that they love. I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen that. They let them go. Because really, it's an individual journey. The love comes through people, but it is the love that you said this. Did you say this, Dante? I think you said, no, you said I think it was last year, when I asked you what did you learn this year, you said, I'm learning to let love love me. Isn't that what you said last year?
Yeah.
Remember that? I'm learning how to let love me. And what I'm sharing this year is I think we need to spend a little more time learning to love. Love. We are very focused on loving the people in whom love shows up. I'm saying fall in love with the love itself. Boil it all the way down. Boil it all the way down. Because love is a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing if you let it transform your heart and your life. I feel like I kind of grew up last night a little bit on the bed there with being able to get to that place and appreciate my journey and appreciate those. That's where the smile came from. Because when I think about some of the things, we all can do this, that I've done and been a part of, and the kind of crazy, silly moments that you have romantically when you're in your early 20s and early 30s or just beginning your journey. It just really, and you don't know no better, and you live long enough to reflect on it. It's a beautiful thing. And so that those places have opened up my heart. Love lives. Love lives. It's your consciousness. And there are people who heard everything that we're just saying, and they've never been in a love relationship before. I've never been in a long-term adult love relationship before. I'm 47. Never. So I understand that question. What if I haven't been in a love relationship before? And what I would ask you out there to do, if you've never been in a love relationship before, is just strike the last word. Strike relationship. And ask yourself, have I ever been in love before? Strike relationship. Have I ever been in love before? And begin to think about that. Begin to think about all the things in life that make you smile, that bring you happiness, that give you joy. Begin to think about the last time that your soul was satisfied. And I think if you keep doing that work, you will see that love has introduced itself to you somewhere along your path. Go back and get it. Go back and get it. Pick it up, put it in your heart, and keep it there, and cultivate it, just like you would a garden, because love has introduced itself to you. Have people come into your life that have made your heart go pitter-patter? Maybe not. And that's work that can happen in the future, but I guarantee you that love has somewhere along your path introduced itself to you. It has.